location. Look at me. I got a view behind me. I'm in Florida. I'm talking. I think I have Josh on with me right now. Let me see. Is Josh on? It's hard for me to see. The lights. I think Josh is here. And new company, Adjace. Rob reached out to me, said, you want to be part of company Adjace? I said, dude, man, of course I do. Of course I want to be part of your team. I love what you guys do. You guys are the best. Did you watch yesterday? Did you watch the end of that Chiefs game? Now, we were in dinner, watching the game, had to shut it off, put it back on, which really, till the end, missed hey, I'm still here. I'm still here, Josh. Still in Florida, not leaving until tomorrow night. Went to the gym, did a little gun work, bam, bam, bam. And, so if you don't live there, if you're a guest, you're not supposed to go before 11. And some old guy had to tell me that, I really was supposed to be here, but it was okay that I was here. I'm like, well, why'd you have to tell me, dude? Yeah. Yo! He was offside. Ernesto, he was definitely offsides. And then he's screaming, even after the game, he's pissed with Josh Allen. The NFL said it's going to investigate this bullshit. I'm sorry. Bullshit. Rob, how you doing? That was total bullshit. I'm tired of hearing him whine. He whines all the fucking time. All the time, Mahomes. I don't get the call. Kadarius Toney was offsides. Gene Stevatore said he was offsides. You know what? RG3 said he should have got a warning before. But this is football. You don't get a warning. And Richard Sherman said, hell yeah, it was offsides. It happened against the Jets. It happens in every goddamn game that team plays. Every goddamn game that team plays, they get away with shit. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the whining. I'm tired of Mahomes. It doesn't go your way. Dude, you are one game ahead of the Broncos, who won yesterday. And did you see Justin Herbert broke his finger? They don't think he's going to play Thursday night against the Raiders. You had a Viking-Raiders game. Vikings won 3-0, and Dobbs got benched for Nick Mullins. It didn't matter, 3-0. And early in the first half, there was a pass high to Justin Jefferson, took a shot to the chest. They took him for precautionary checking to the hospital, and he ended up missing the rest of the game. So, I see that, and I'm like, good God, man, that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. View request. Let's see. Go live with. So now all of a sudden. I thought he was off today. Yeah. He wants to go live. You want to go live? Go live, buddy. You want to talk? You talk away. All right. Mahomes not having. No, he is not. You think it's bad for the NFL? No. Yeah. Oh, it's bad for the NFL. There he is. What's up, Bubba?
JD, how's it going?
How you
down there?
Dude, it's only 70 today, which they call winter time, which is a bunch of bullshit.
70.
Yeah, 70.
Oh, boy. It's hot, like Mahomes was yesterday, huh?
Love it. How much do you love Mahomes when he sucks? I mean, I love Mahomes, but I love when he whines and bitches like a little baby. Because he was...
It makes him look so bad. I wonder if he's gotten so used to winning now that he doesn't know how to handle. Or maybe, you know what, he's just a sore loser, and we've never seen it because he's never lost really before.
Totally, because... he gets every call, and if he doesn't get a call, he goes crazy. Yeah, he goes crazy, and I'm like, it's bullshit, dude. Total bullshit.
Such a bad look.
Such a bad. And then you saw at the end with Josh Allen, they're shaking hands, and he's still bitching about it.
Right? If I were Josh Allen, like, excuse me, like I just won this game, and you're coming at me like we didn't deserve it because your guy was definitively offside.
Definitively.
Offside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid to put it all the refs. No, it's called personal responsibility. It's Tony's responsibility to make sure he's not offside. If he checks the refs and he tells him you're okay, I would at least have a little bit like, okay, the ref told you and he's the rule guy. But if he doesn't check with them, no goddamn way to the ref's idea to say, hold on, guys, wait a minute, Tony, back up a little bit. You're not asking me, but no, bullshit.
Yeah.
Total bullshit.
Total bullshit. I'm like, enough already. I'm tired of hearing him whine. Oh, and the Packers are favored by 14 tonight? Did he just tell me that? 14 over your Giants tonight? Ernesto told me?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But it's the NFL. Wouldn't surprise me if the Packers come out laying egg. Not because it's the Packers, just because teams these days seem to do that. They get in a roll and they get a little full of themselves. Maybe they're not practicing as sharp. They come out expecting to win. The Giants aren't very good. And next thing you know, the Packers lay an egg. I mean, we see it with teams. I mean, the Niners with the Browns, right? Who ever saw that coming? Laid an absolute egg. the Eagles with the Jets.
No, wait, Lions-Bears. You're talking about Lions-Bears yesterday. That was a terrible game, dude.
Oh, well, there you go. Another one of them. Just teams come out, they get a little full of themselves and just lay an absolute egg.
And Gotham's playing like crap. They're 9-4. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about all the parity? What do you think about the NFC South? Buccaneers, Saints, and Falcons, 6-7, and one of them is going to host a playoff game.
That's going to be horrible. I mean, if they win that game, they stand no chance in the second round. If someone like the Eagles or the Cowboys or the Niners go into them in the first round, they're going to kill them. I don't love the I don't love the parity. I mean, I know maybe it's a old man get off my lawn type of thing, but I enjoyed it better back when we were younger and there was more. Teams are year after year were generally good, and you had to work and build, and then you're good for a while. I enjoyed that better. No,
I totally agree, because what did they say? There's more. I mean, the Chiefs are a game up on the Broncos. Broncos, weren't they 1-5, 1-6?
Yeah, they gave us 70 points. Now, I mean, it's one game, but yeah, they were 1-5 and they 1-5. They were pretty bad, and people were like, oh yeah, maybe what's his name isn't a good head coach anymore, and Russell Wilson's washed up, and now Russell Wilson's playing well. He's not lighting it up, but he's winning games, and he's not the reason they're losing. It's all right. And the defense turns it around. Joseph is a good defense coordinator. He just obviously it took a little while for the team to come around to get up with the system and everything. And now they're playing great.
Okay, wait. So Michael Hellman goes, they couldn't let Allen have it. Allen had a brutal season. He said, this has been a week of team shit in the bed, which I don't disagree. Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask you. Is Dak Prescott MVP in your opinion? Yeah. I mean, to me, no.
I think Purdy gets it.
You think Purdy gets it?
Yeah. But did someone put up an argument for Tyreek Hill and CMC?
What, CMC had a $145 yesterday. Yeah, CMC's having a season, dude.
He really
and
is.
Tyreek Hill, well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know, but see, I don't know about that the receiver, because Miami seems when they're running the ball well, that's when they're really hard to stop. So, and that's how it kind of goes in the NFL. You got to be able to run the ball. You have to.
Have to be able to run the ball. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Have to be able to run the ball.
What about you? You don't think Dak?
No. You know what? Listen, I was on, and I got the thing up, the company ad, Jace. I got your logo up in the back. I love it. I think it looks awesome. Thank you for including me. I love your group.
Well, thanks for coming to join us, man. We love having you there, man. You bring so much to it.
Dude, but I was saying on the chat that I feel this year the Cowboys NFC Championship game to me is a successful season because they haven't got there since '95. Yeah. I'm not going to judge Dak yet because I want to see, and I'll tell you that kicker, 59 and 60, and both of them he had leg for another 5-6 yards, right?
And down the center. It wasn't even like
right. It was just like.
It matters. You make it, but it's never. It's like he goes up and maybe he starts a little bit, but then right down the middle every time.
Every time.
It's amazing.
What's he 30 for 30? I think he's 30 for 30 this year. First guy to have 2 kicks over 59 yards in the same. I was like, holy shit.
Scott Norwood with the 47-yarder. He had the distance. So it was like I remember when he went to line up against the Giants. Norwood was like, all right, like. I was a Giants fan. I was like, this isn't an easy kick. Today, if a guy was going a 47-yarder, I'd be like, yeah, he's going to make it.
Right. He better make it. He better make it or they're going to yank him. So I'm like, I mean, unbelievable. Dude, I'm just like, holy. I mean, you're right. Right down the middle. It wasn't even like, oh, it's going to curve. It was like, boom, boom. And I was like, and everyone was saying they got 23 points from last night. I was like, God damn it. And I don't agree with Ernesto that every year there's a crappy, maybe there's a crappy team, but not a whole division that sucks. I mean, this division sucks.
Yeah, I can only remember one time a division winner went in with a losing record. That
Bucks.
was the Carolina Panthers, like, I don't know.
No, Bucks last year.
Or something like that. Otherwise, it's always had at least a 500 record.
No.
This doesn't look like they're going to be under 500.
Bucks last year were 8-9, dude.
8-9.
8-9, and there was 8-9, and there was a year that the Saints went in, and I think they won a playoff game. They had a crap.
No, wait. Brady was 8-9. No, Brady never had a losing season last year.
Weren't they?
Brady never had a losing season in his career.
Weren't they 8-9 last year? I gotta look. Okay, I'm looking it up right now.
Maybe 9-8, but they never. Brady never finished the season with under net. I don't think he ever had a under 500 record his entire career.
I don't think he, but I'm looking right
I
now.
know
Bucks.
500 record, he was 8-8 his second year, but I don't think he was ever under 500 in his entire career. I think I saw that stat.
I thought so too, but I thought they were 8-9 last year. I'm looking it up right now. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Standing. Let me see.
Yep.
You are. Oh, they're doing this year. I don't want this year. I want last year. Motherfuckers. All right, I'm gonna find it now. Now that's gonna bother me. That's gonna bother me. That's gonna bother me. So I'll find it. And but that's what I wanted to ask you, because I don't like the parody. I don't like the parody. It really pissed me off.
Yeah.
8-9 last year, buddy. 8-9. They were 8-9.
Interesting. I thought he was never under 500.
Yeah, that was his first year ever. He'd never had it under.
Okay, so it was the first year ever, so it was the one time. Okay. Yeah, I don't know the parody either. I don't know. It's just going, each week it's, I don't know. I don't find it as enjoyable. Personally, I like watching greatness too. A lot of people hate it on Brady. I enjoy watching greatness. I mean, of course, I could give or take with people have attitudes or whatever, but I enjoy greatness. Enjoyed seeing Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky, Marilyn Newman. The list goes on and on with great players. But I was never like, oh God, I'm sick of watching this guy. He always wins. Well, I mean, you like seeing guys who are not great?
No, I don't. No, yeah, they could, yeah, and yeah, Ernesto, I remember the NFC League. So there's one thing that popped in my head. I'm gonna forget it before. Okay, so the in-season tournament final, Lakers beat Indiana, and after the game, I saw this site, Ball is Life, and I don't know, I thought it was a joke. LeBron was comparing, Austin Reeves played sick. He was comparing to Jordan's flu game, as big as Jordan's flu game in the NBA Finals, and I was like, wait. I thought I said, I go, you guys are punking me, right? How are you comparing Austin Reeves in an in-season tournament final to Jordan in the finals playing sick? I was like, dude, guys, we can't start comparing.
Is that a parody account? I mean, he really did that?
That's what it said, and I said, I don't know if it's 100% real, but I said, I hope this is a joke.
God.
I mean, I said, I hope this is a joke, because I mean, I can't believe that this is real. I mean, I'm like, come on, guys, that's.
Yeah, and Austin Reeves was what? As meaning he was the centerpiece of what offense that won a championship against a pretty damn good team. I mean, we're talking Austin Reeves is what? Like, as far as offensively, is our third, fourth, fifth guy against the Pacers, who are what, like 6th, 7th in an NBA East, and versus Jordan playing against a pretty good defensive team in Utah. I mean, they're not an all-time great team. That's a good defensive team. In an NBA Finals, when what everyone knew was pretty much his last game, at least as the Bulls, we all thought of his career.
Okay, Ernesto was saying, Rob, that he channeled his inner MJ to play while sick. I still think you got to shut the fuck up. I think that's a shut the fuck up.
That's like.
Don't even put it like Ernesto. I love. Thank you, Ernesto.
It's his job to play. Like, if he didn't play, I want to kill him, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, he played with the flu. Holy cow! Like, how many of us go to work with the flu? I mean, it's his job. Yes, he's giving lots of energy, but I had jobs where I worked, physically hard jobs all day, and
right.
I think a 10-minute break if I wasn't playing well and you pulled out and be like, coach, like, yeah, good, sit on the bench for a while and rest. I mean, I know he gives a lot of effort, but I dug ditches doing gas construction work when I wasn't feeling well, and was never like, whoa, boy. I channel I was just sitting there on the job site, like, I channel my inner MJ today, guys.
I gotta get it. I just gotta get my inner MJ to get going today. Oh, I forgot Ernesto's.
Next time you're doing this, JD, next time you're doing this live and you're not feeling well, you got to channel your
Sure,
inner
I know. I gotta be like this. You gotta tell me that. You gotta say, hey, JD, channel your inner MJ.
Yeah, and then when you're done, you got to get Michigan to come over and, like Scottie Pippen did, like walk you away with the arm around as you realize you're.
Or like James Brown, they put the thing over his shoulders and walk him off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Michael Hellman said that he never was 2 games under, but I don't even think I think you're right. I don't think he ever was under 500 when he played. I don't think even they missed the playoffs, but.
Game was a loss, so then it was over. The season was technically over. So I guess the record is he never played a game under 500, but. Yeah, that last one. But the point is, we can pick the amount of teams that finish under 500. Like,
right.
It's not.
Okay. Well, so all this stuff has popped in my head because I haven't done a show, and I love having you on because you always. So, did you see Zappy after the game Thursday night? He comes in, he hugs Bill O'Brien, then he looks toward Belichick, and he's like, "How you doing?" like I can't do it. I can't go hug the coach. But Bill O'Brien are like this, and he sees Belichick. He's like, What's up? Hey, coach. Hey, how you doing? All right. I thought that was
I don't
hilarious.
see Belichick as a lovey-dovey.
No. I thought that was pretty hilarious. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's Bill Belichick.
that's Bill Belichick.
He is not Mr. Personality, Mr. Affection, I would say, from what I see.
Okay, so there's a lot of things I want to talk. Okay, I have all these stats on Ohtani, but to me, he has never won more than 80 games with the Angels. I don't care what they pay him. I know they said if he combined Garrett Cole and Judge, it's still less than what he's making, and they're comparing what he made. No NFL players ever made that kind of money. I think he's a great player. I think but he's not pitching next year. I know that the market's changing. They're saying Yamamoto's going to get $400 million. $400 million he's going to get on the market.
Yeah, I think that's where you're seeing the bidding war for him. You get Cohen in there. You get the Dodgers, I guess, are looking at him. Yankees start getting the big ticket team starting to bid on him. They're going to jack it up on each other. Someone's going to, And as far as Ohtani, what I wonder is how much pitching can he do? He's got two torn, hurt his elbow twice now. He's 29 years old. That's 10 years. You're looking at 39 when he finishes. Is he going to be good enough after like 34, 35 to continue starting? Are they going to have to force him to go out there and pitch just because he's making all that money if he's even healthy the whole time?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know the market, but now you push. So what is Boris looking at for Soto? That's what I want to know. What is Boris looking at for? Because he's going to let him play the year, and he's only 25, so he'll be 26. You got basically, he's in his prime. He's going to ask for what? And I know he's not pitching, but what Soto's going to get at least, I would think, $500-600 million on a deal.
I would think. I would wonder if they would ever think of taking a 5-year deal, just because if he's 26, takes a 5-year deal and hits again at 31, what is the annual average salary when he's 31? What's the annual average going to be then for someone of his? Because he's still going to be 31 and still be producing
right.
really well. His annual average, if he signs a 10-year deal now, may not be the same. So I'm sure he's not going to do it, but I wonder if that would be a better. Give him a 5-year deal. They're still going to give him the annual average of a lot. They're still going to do that.
What if
4-year deal and then
right.
4 or 5 years?
What if Boris goes? I want 4 years, $400 million, and someone's going to bite at it, and then you're going to take it to a different stratosphere.
Or an opt out in 4 or 5 years. A player opt out if he wants it. That way he can sign a 10, 12-year deal and opt out of 4 or 5 years. Only player, not because he can demand it if he wants it, if he gets it.
Right.
So maybe like a 12, 13 year or 10 to 13 year deal, because he can still get till 39. 10, 12, 13-year deal at who knows what the price is going to be next year, with an opt-out after 4, 5, 6 years. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of money.
Now, your Mets picked up your. I said, what do you think about Jorge Soler for your Mets as a pickup? No, I read something today that's a guy that they could go after. He had a pretty good year this past year with the Marlins. You like him or no? What do you think?
Yeah, Yeah, I think they're mostly set lineup-wise, so I think it really kind of depends on what they do with Yamamoto, because he's I think whether they really compete for this year or not. If they get him, then maybe they go a little bit more in this year. If not, then they kind of push it off. Also depends on the length of the deal. I know you got a lot of guys coming up next year, so.
Yeah, I was wondering, since you're my Met guy, I was wondering, do you like that pickup? Do you think it's? You're keeping Alonso. I can't believe.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to arbitration this year, so he's going to get almost $30 million this year in arbitration. Is that what he's up for?
Yeah. He's got to be up for arbitration. He's a free agent next year. Is that a? They'll say if the case is not doing good and they look to trade him. I can't imagine they trade him, but who knows what Stearns wants. He fits New York. He plays in New York. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, I think that'd be
a power hitter. Every year he's going to be around 40 and 120 every single year. And his defense isn't great, but he works on it. You can see he works on his defense.
Right.
He's not a bad defender anymore. Maybe he's average, but okay. You're not going to have a Gold Glover everywhere, but he's an average, and he works at it. And he plays as many games you want to play, he'll play.
Right. Exactly. He's not going to be like, I'm going to sit. If he can play, he can play. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Ernesto says Alonso will be a Yankee next year. There is absolutely zero way that Cohen would let him walk to the Yankees.
He says no?
Zero way. Zero way. There's no way. He will overpay him, whatever he's going to overpay him if it comes down to that. And if he's offered a equal contract, he'll come back to the Mets. He loves being a Met.
Now, did you see Yankees and Dodgers made a trade, I saw today, and they picked up a pitcher. I think they're both minor leaguers, right? It opened up her spot, so they signed, they got Sweeney, Victor Gonzalez, a receiver, and Jorbit Vivas and I read that Vivas is a guy who, well, I guess Volpe, he's not going to get that job, but Gonzalez was a reliever with played with the Dodgers last year, missed 2000, was injured, of course, and Vivas, 13 home runs, 63 RBIs, but a lot of stolen bases, because, the Yankees are going to go to bunting next year, so that'll be, they can,
Yeah.
they're going to bunt a lot of guys. So Stanton will bunt the first drag bunt, and then he'll be out for 14 weeks. Because
he'll pull a hammy on the first base.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the Yankees need to get some pitching because they're losing out on Yamamoto to the Mets, so they got to get whatever pitcher they can get.
Yeah. Wait. So Michael Hellman thinks it's better on paper for the Dodgers. What the getting rid of? I don't know what he's. I guess he's saying the trade. I think that's what he meant. The trade for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Listen. Dodgers, it doesn't matter. I mean, I still think they still said even though they get Ohtani, they still need pitching because he can't pitch next year. So I feel like like the Yankees, everybody needs pitching. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So you score 19 runs. Once the playoffs come, everybody stops hitting, and you're going to need guys to pitch, and it's going to come back and blow up in their face. That's what I think. I mean, we'll see what happens on that front. But did you watch a lot of football?
One thing on Ohtani that I want to mention, I heard he has his own workout routine,
Bumbles.
his own practice routine, everything. He pitches on 6 days, like all that type of stuff. Baseball is a lot more individual, so I wonder how much this matters. But with Jeter and Duncan and Brady and the greats like that, they always talk about how the coaching get on them and they do everything else. They won't do anything that they don't expect every teammate to do, and they always are treated like every other teammate. I wonder if there's anything in the locker room with the other players about how Ohtani doesn't have to follow any of the team structure with all those type of things. I wonder I know he performs.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, back up. What do you, Rob? What do you mean?
What
do you mean about the structure? What do you don't think he's going to follow the same? What do you mean?
Well, no, he does his own workout routine. He practices one. I mean, he still works out and does all this stuff, his batting practice and all that. He does by his own routine, from what I understand, not by the team's rules about when he practices. From what I understand, he has his own routine that he follows.
So he did that with the Dodgers.
With the Angels.
Oh, with the Angels. He
Yeah.
did that with the Angels. So he did his own routine. That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like.
I wonder how players think about it. I mean, I wonder baseball matters. Football. I think that would really matter.
No, but listen.
In football, but
yeah, but
I wonder what other players are like. Okay, the guy produces a lot, but like Mookie Betts, someone like him. Like Mookie Betts.
But let me.
I wonder if he's going to be like, what's this guy get? It's.
Yeah, they don't train the same. But this is what I wanted to ask you. I think in football that happens where guys. He wants to join. I think that NFL there are superstar rules. I disagree with you. I think that there are superstars. Oh, here he comes. Oh, here he is. Oh,
I had to come in for the talk because I've been talking about exactly what he's talking about for years.
Explain.
Asian players do not train, practice, do anything like American players. It's very different.
Right.
Most of the players are pitchers, and I think pitchers kind of have their own. A lot of them do have their own ways of doing stuff anyway, right? With pitchers,
That's
with
what I'm saying.
hitters.
But Ohtani's both. You got to remember, Ohtani's both. So he can't necessarily train or have a routine like anybody else either.
Oh well, but Suzuki was doing his own. I remember Suzuki doing his own thing.
Did his own thing. Tanaka did his own thing, and it's a constant from all the years because the development in Asian ball is different than the development in American ball.
So hours of practice.
Practices,
Yeah.
all of that is completely different.
Totally different.
I wonder if that affects the clubhouse at all.
I don't think it does because I think the ball players know we're different.
Oh, okay, but you're bonding though. When you work together, you bond, and there's something about teams. You see, teams that love each other, that have that bond. There's every sport. I don't care what sport it is. if there's a thing about a bond and you play hard for each other, and it matters, man. It matters in every sport. I wonder if that affects that at all sometimes. How many Japanese players have won? You got like, let's say there's, like obviously Matsui did in 07 with the or 09 with the Yankees. Ichiro never won anything. I just wonder if there's something to that. I'm not saying it always takes away from the bond, but if it's your best player, maybe there's something.
Listen. Michael Helmet brought up a good point. He said, "Remember Russell Wilson was doing his own thing last year. It did not work. It did not work when Payton came in this year. They said about he goes, hey, that's not playing this year. Yeah, we're done. No. So I agree with that. Remember that Wilson was trying to do his own thing. Like I have my own trainers and I.
What he said on the bottom here, it will though because if somebody's being paid $70 million a year, you're not picking up the check. So at the end of the day, it's like if this is the guy that we're paying $70 million a year to, and he has his own practice routine, I don't think it affects the locker room.
No.
I think it's more in the sense of, well, I guess that's why he has a $70 million salary.
Yeah, but all the greats of the greats, right? Most of the time, don't you hear that the coach can get on them the same and all that? Like they're not treated different. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, Jeter was never treated different. Duncan, Jordan, all them the coaches would get on him. Man, Tom Brady, we all know like Tom Brady, Belichick would get on him. Duncan, and Kobe Bryant, like all those guys.
They were also kissing them out.
What do you mean?
Brady and Belichick. Oh no, is that Brady and Kraft, right? Well, I think Brady and Belichick smooched too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it came between the lines, they were treated no different. Oh, we lost Ernesto.
Well, this is the thing I think too. I know what you're talking about, but I think that Belichick did it too to show, hey, that you guys all have to follow the. He did it to show everybody like it. You can't hear me?
No. I'm saying to follow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do this to Brady, and you all better follow in line. That this is like he ran it like a dictatorship. It wasn't like
Well, it's also from what I've heard from players, they would say like, other players would say, if Brady has to do these things, then I know I have to. Because if Brady can't get away with it, I can. So then now, where if Brady's allowed to enough guy, what if you let your top three guys get away with something, right? Like your three best players, and you got like your guy who's like your fourth best right behind them. He may say, well, I'm good enough. Yeah, me and I don't know, like. Waddle on Miami may say, well, Tyreek Hill could do his own thing. I'm pretty damn good too. I mean, maybe I'm not Tyreek Hill, but they need me. Or Achan.
Do you remember with remember with the Cowboys? They had that wide receiver when Irvin was playing. They had that wide receiver. I can't remember his name.
Harper?
Yes, and Harper thought, well, you know what? I'm that good. Well, he left, and he never was the same player.
He went to Tampa, yeah.
Right, and right.
That's one thing that when reading the Giants book, Lawrence Taylor was held accountable, and so I'm just wondering. I mean, maybe with baseball it's different, and this practice isn't the same where the coach is probably out. They're not having basketball.
I don't think
hitters and the 9 guys in the field. I mean,
Rob, I would think they don't get crazy about that shit. I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Maybe some guys in the clubhouse may have maybe a little bit of resentment towards it, to where they have to get up early for the scheduled practice. They have to be there, and Ohtani doesn't.
Well, I don't think you see, if anything, I think Ohtani's working more than less, because over there, I heard they do infield drills for hours. I heard batting practice. It's not like here where these guys, it's like hours and hours and hours of fundamentals.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. And I feel that he's not going to come in and go, hey, I'm making $70 million a year. I feel like he's like, I'm coming in and listen, endorsements, everything. I mean, he's a god over there, man. You go to every game. I went to an Astros game, an Astros Angel game 2 years ago, and there were a ton of Ohtani jerseys, and we were sitting close. We were like 10 rows back, and they were every time he got the bat, the cameras were out. So, I mean. Listen, I don't think any player is worth $70 million a year. I feel teachers, teachers, cops, everybody aren't making anywhere near that, and it's amazing a guy hitting a baseball is getting $70 million a season. I mean, he's making more.
My son to be an outfielder. My son to be a right fielder. Guaranteed.
Exactly. Tell your kid to play golf, kicker, or play baseball.
A golf bat on the bat, a hitter, right? Outfielder.
Now I want to ask you, what do you think about Frank Wycheck? 52, man.
Oh man, so sad. That's
Yeah.
51, right? Was it 51 or
52?
52. My gosh, he's a pretty good tight end, man. He wasn't great, but he was pretty good.
And he did the miracle, that pass.
Miracle, yeah. That was him who caught the kickoff, ran into Two it across, yeah.
The Dyson, and they went Super Bowl, and I'll tell you, they should have won the Super Bowl that year. They had a hell of a team. And
Yeah, a couple yards away, man.
he said, what did he say? 200,000 hits between 5 and 33. He said he played and a lot of concussions. And they said he had a fall and he never woke up. The family donate. Yeah, yeah. They said, yeah. So
That sucks.
So, and listen, it is my favorite sport to watch, hands down. Hands down. But the guys are getting hurt more and more. Did you see that hit that C.J. Stroud took yesterday? And I didn't think Quentin Williams. I don't think.
Yeah, I saw it live. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of football yesterday, unfortunately, but yeah.
And I didn't think.
When he was down, I thought like I saw him. I was like, man, what happened to him? Like, because he was rolling around like something was writhing, like
Right.
something. I was like, oh, and they showed a replay right away. It's like, yeah, banged his head on the turf. Yep.
Now, and that's what Wilson's third 300-yard game of his career. Listen, played great. They scored 30 in the second half. He got Garrett Wilson involved, Breece Hall. I mean, they finally got a win. They played great. I mean, and they've dominated teams playing this year. Did you see that stat of what everybody's done at MetLife against the Jets? Dude, it is, Rob. It is crazy how crappy everybody's played at Giant Stadium. They threw for 54 yards yesterday. I had C.J. Stroud was my quarterback, and I got destroyed yesterday. And the Cowboys look good, dude. The Cowboys look legit. I mean, look legit, really good yesterday. I mean,
yeah. They're talking about Dak during the game. They're talking about Dak when he hits his back foot, getting rid of it. It's a rhythm offense,
right?
And that's what McCartney runs, and that's what That's West Coast based. I mean, it's not the full West Coast anymore because it's been so long. But it's that 1, 2, 3 drop or 5 hit the back foot and get rid of it as opposed to stop. And yeah, it's that. And he says this. He says that in the thing they were talking about it during the game, the broadcast that they were telling the announcers when they interviewed him before the game, during the week that he can't imagine how he played football not this way previously. So yeah, it's the quarterback friendly type of system that West Coast is based out of.
Right.
Or is often based out of the West Coast. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I mean, they've always been a really talented team. It's just putting it together. Quinn's a really good defensive coordinator. McCartney comes from that San Francisco tree.
And Quinn's gone. I think Quinn's gone at the end of the season.
That's why you said this year the NFC Championship makes that. I don't know, man. I know they haven't been there in a long time, and that if they get there, it's further than they've ever been. But yeah, Quinn's gone after this year.
Oh, even whatever happens in the playoffs, Quinn's gone because I mean they've won eight games by 20 plus this year. 8 of the first. I mean, good God! I mean, they're having a season. They've had 8 straight home games with 30 plus points. And tickets last night, dude, were cheapest tickets were $880 and $5,000 to get in last night. $5,000, dude. I was like, holy crap. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
So listen to this. What they say. I saw this from Michael Nania. He's a big Jet guy. Writes about combined numbers of C.J. Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Hurts, and Allen at MetLife this year. 85 of 159, 53% completion, 813 yards, 5.2 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. I mean, talk about just like, I was like, all right, maybe he's, so maybe Aaron Rodgers is going to sit out a little while. Maybe. I need to see it the rest of the season, Rob. I need to see the rest of the season that he's coming to play. I can't have this 1 week shit. I need to come every week and see him.
Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I need to see the rest of the season.
I have this idea that Zach Wilson. I mean, you can name quarterbacks. I mean, the backup to Cincinnati. Does anyone think he's Brownie? Anyone think he's going to be like a real? I mean, maybe he's good, but like. You can name Minshew. Gardner Minshew's had some really good games for Indianapolis.
Right.
Is he really an NFL starter week in and week out? No. You can look back at Matt Flynn for Green Bay all those years ago. Was he really an NFL starter? No. I mean, there's guys that always, you have good games.
How about Joe Flacco yesterday, man?
Yeah, Joe Flacco looked good. I mean, it happens, man. Guys have games. It doesn't mean...
Right. I totally agree.
Against Houston is a good team, but obviously Houston wasn't playing well yesterday. Doesn't mean, Zach's turning the corner. So we're going to take a half of football, and we're going to now make that... So are we going to do it with every player that has a good half? Are we now going to turn around and say that player is now... Turn the corner and just
right.
Is that what we're doing now? Half of football means like you're here and you've arrived?
Right. No.
Yeah. The people who are saying it, it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I totally agree with you, dude. Welcome baseballing. We were, I guess maybe we took a little, but I mean, they're just, and then yesterday, what do you have? The Vikings 3-0 over the Raiders. I mean, I was like, I watched the end of the. I'm sorry, Desmond Ridder threw a nice touchdown pass to Kyle Pitts. That's another guy. I'll take Arthur Smith. To me, I mean, they thought he's an offensive guy, and I mean that was terrible. What's his name? Baker Mayfield was like 14 for 30, but had a game-winning drive at the end. He looks terrible, and that's another guy.
Yeah.
Like Rob, every team for every Mahomes. And Justin Herbert hasn't looked good this year, and they put in their backup. And he's gone. I mean, he's another guy, Chargers coach. But Jared Goff isn't playing as well. I mean, they're 9-4. I don't think how many legitimate teams do you think in the playoffs? I mean, the Ravens didn't look great. They pulled out a win. Did you see any of the?
Yeah, but they're still. I mean, the Ravens still did find a way to win, and
yes,
there's something to that. Finding a way when you don't play your best to win. That's a good team.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Then it shows signs, but finding a way. I'd say Miami overall good, Baltimore overall good. God, if Cleveland still had Deshaun Watson, that'd be different. I know their defense is different away versus.
Wait, so you like Watson? You like Watson? He is.
I think he needs time. It seems like now he's gotten back and then he got hurt. He had a few games and he got hurt. I think he needs some time to really play consistently, being he was off for 2 years. But I think he's a better option than Joe Flacco overall.
Oh, I think so too. I think so.
He's got everything. They have everything else to win to be really good. So, I think he definitely, if he gets some time to play, definitely could be, a winning quarter. Maybe an AFC championship, and never know he'd get in a roll. I mean, in the playoffs it could happen. Buffalo, I don't think it's quite there. I just don't think there's just something with that team, man. There's just something with Buffalo.
I thought what they were
yesterday is because Kadarius Toney was an idiot.
But also, and they were up 14-0. So it was a big.
Yeah, up 14-0. So I think, although Kansas City things aren't going right now, would it shock me if somehow they just put it together in the playoffs?
Not at all.
No, it would not shock me. So I'd put them up there. But yeah, the parity. One thing I think that adds to the problem with parity is. Someone like Arthur, I think you have a problem where they don't give, generally, head coaches enough time. And then also you get a lot of coordinators that get elevated when they're not really, some guys are just better coordinators.
Yes,
Dick LeBeau, not a good head coach. Phenomenal. Great defense.
Phenomenal. And Norv Turner, phenomenal offensive coordinator, not a good coach. Josh equals Dodgers equals dangerous. I'm like, listen, if they're that good, how good are the Braves? The Braves are younger. I mean, Acuna was MVP. They had a bad series. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I think the Braves are good, if not better, than the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers.
Yeah, they're so deep. They have good pitching.
Hey.
And the thing about the Braves is, I think the Braves are the model. I hate the Braves.
Yes.
They're the model franchise. And the Mets are talking about doing it now. We're up into Alvarez, the catcher, Francisco Alvarez, when he's young. The Braves are so smart with getting ahead with all that because they're not spending a ton of money. If they really want to bring free agents, they can. But they develop and they sign their guys when they're young. And now, if they like they did with Freddie Freeman's good now. That contract at the end probably won't look great. But the Dodgers let him go too early as opposed to late, and the Braves let him go too early as opposed to late, and they traded for someone to take his place, and the contract is good, and they'll get out of that before it's too late too.
So I got to. You made me just think of something. Okay, you made me think of something. You're a big Mets fan. How about this name for your? How about this name for your Mets? JD Martinez as your DH. 1 year contract.
And the reason why I'd be a little hesitant is. Obviously, you're not. I don't know how we would feel about it, but I would like to see Marte as our DH. His legs are a problem. When he plays, he can't. He gets. But when he's playing and hitting well, the offense is different. Because you have him at number 2, you have Lindor as number 3, Alonso is number 4, and now Alvarez second season should be more even. You put him as number 5. Now you have a 2, and the Nimmo is really good. You have 1 through 5, and then maybe McNeil 6. You have 1 through 6 that are good hitters. Marte's injured a lot. I think he would be maybe splitting time with DH between him and Alvarez. Being Alvarez, as a catcher, you want his bat in the lineup, but you don't want him catching too much. So I'd want to leave that open for Marte so he's not getting injured as much because his legs are, when he gets hurt, the Mets are missing that bat big time. So that'd be my one hesitation. Otherwise,
so you wouldn't
a 1 year deal. I'd take
1 year deal
on it if Marte's not going to be a DH.
So you'd rather take a chance on Marte than you would on JD Marte. Marte's
Marte's already signed. I mean,
yes.
left in his deal, And
Yes.
they need him. They need his bat. Yeah, I'd rather have him at DH. I think because if JD is playing DH, he's expected to pretty much play every day. DH doesn't really need time off.
Right.
And then I guess you'd have to with Alvarez, but I'd rather have a spot. Alvarez's bat is really good. I want that in the lineup almost every day. So I want him DH when he's not catching, mostly. He's got to give him some days off, but I want a spot for Alvarez to go when he's not catching. His bat is really good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hey, listen. I was kind of curious. Yeah, and what Josh said, that Bueller's coming back and May's coming back next year. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the pitching is going to be good. I mean, obviously you don't have Ohtani this year, but could you imagine if Ohtani for some reason comes back and he's not the same guy? God, boy.
It could happen. Listen, you're right. It could happen. It could. I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? I mean, there's a chance.
Or if he tears it right away, he tears it another year or two, and they're like, and then his medical and his team is like, yeah, we just can't have him doing it again. How many? Has anyone ever come back from 3? I don't think so.
No,
So,
you got a point there.
But if the team says, yeah, we can't have him throw anymore because we don't want him to do too much damage to his arm, he's only going to hit now. Now you're looking at $70 million a year for a hitter.
Oh, and then what's interesting? Okay, Michael Hemmel brought a good point up. What about Trevor Bauer? Would you take a chance on him with the Mets?
That's a name I've talked with my friends. Have you heard what's come out about that? Like, it really looks like the woman was looking just for.
Oh, without a doubt.
I would the Mets. I would be calling him up in a hot second.
I think the Yankees should. Now he does get to go along with Cole, but I definitely think that I would.
Yeah, so you don't want him there. Really, he'd be much better for the Mets. He pitched well.
He did.
Well overseas too. So,
he did, and he's still. But he's
my friend is a huge Mets fan. My friend Matt. He knows like this.
Good,
guy
Michael. Good question. Good question. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you know what? I'd like to see. I feel like there is such a dearth of pitchers out there. You need. Listen, I'd give anybody a chance. If Gooden was still healthy, I'd be like, let's throw him out there for 5-6. You know who I used to love on your Mets? Sid Fernandez was like Nolan Ryan for 4 or 5 innings and then just went. But when you got 4 or 5 innings out of him where he flew through the lineup and that was it. I'm like, Sid, lose some weight. Could never lose that weight, man. I just always.
Yeah, well, Nolan Ryan. I mean, that guy pitched well too. I remember watching him throw no hair in the '90s. I was like, and he was on the '69 Mets.
But
I mean,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well,
Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon pitched forever.
Bartolo Colon had 2 families, Rob. He had 2 families.
Crazy, right?
But you knew about Ryan post game. He did workouts after he put himself through workouts. He was a workout madman. Who was the guy who got killed in the plane crash, pitching no-hitter in the playoffs for the Phillies? He was a workout machine.
He came from came from the Blue Jays.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm blanking on his name.
Really good, Mr. Young.
Yes. He was so awesome.
Someone in the chat will say the name.
Yeah, someone will say the name. He was a hell of a pitcher, and goddamn, I heard out his workouts. We was he was going nonstop. His in between days, he put him through like he was pitching real good, and that's what I'm saying. So when you talk about Ohtani, there's a lot of guys who are like. I mean, look at Clemens might have been on roids or whatever, allegedly, but he had a trainer that was busting his ass. I mean, these guys really work. Some of these guys really work hard. Other guys are lazy shits, but some guys are really good. Now, did you hear about Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks? Ankle surgery, 8 weeks.
I know you got a computer right there. Can you Google the most amount of pitches Nolan Ryan threw in a game?
Oh, I think he did two and change, dude.
Yes, 2 and change. I thought it was that. I remember I talked about it like a few weeks ago with you, and I meant to look it up, and I forgot. But it's like 2 and change. It's crazy. And he threw hard. I mean, he didn't throw 99, but he threw hard. He threw in like 95.
Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan was the real deal. Okay, I'm gonna look. Nolan Ryan, most pitches in a game. Nolan Ryan. No, that's not. And I've heard there's a really good doc on him, which everybody told me I gotta watch. That they said it's really. I drove when I was in Texas.
253 is what I want to say is the number.
Okay, here we go. 74. He threw 235 against the Red Sox, and he would start another game 3 days. Dude, but that's not even half of it. Rob, 3 days later he threw six scoreless innings. 3 days later. No, not Cliff Lee. No.
That's nuts. And he threw hard. Anyway, so I just wanted that number. So, yeah, Mitchell Robinson, 8 to 10 weeks. I mean, like, that is so devastating for their defense. Oh, God. He is such a cog.
Roy Halladay, yes.
Yes.
But thank you, Josh. Yeah. And Michael got it. Yeah, Michael. Yeah. So Michael Hellman says if Bauer's innocent, I would take him on the match. He's definitely in it. And even if he isn't, half these guys are doing crazy shit out there. You know, I mean, I was like,
Yeah, if you look at, yeah, I know, Michael. Yeah, go look at the text messages that came out recently between the girl who accused him and her friend. It'd be hard not to think that they were out for money. I mean, you know, I like to wait till all the information comes out with these things, because right away guys can look guilty, and then you find it really looks like they were like it was a payday type of thing for this woman. Like it was consensual, and then, you know, or it was planned beforehand that was going to be consensual between them, but then she was going to say something else is how it looked. So
yeah, she went on TV. You saw her. No offense, man. She was a gold digger. I mean, there was something really. I didn't believe anything she said. And listen, there are women, the guys who do bad shit, but in this case, I felt like Bauer it was consensual. I mean, this girl was into.
Yeah, it really looks like it was consensual, and she was just after the money. She texted with her friend like, "Hey, this is a target," or money from or something.
Right,
and that's just
right.
like, whoa, man.
And he lost a lot of money, man. He lost a shitload.
And reputation, man. That's something. You know, could you imagine? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's married, but could you imagine you meet, if shortly after it comes out, he meets a woman and goes to meet, the guy's family and stuff. Like, I mean, obviously, money matters too, but also your reputation matters, man. Like, if people know who you are and that's thought about you and you didn't do it, that's pretty horrible.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree with you.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, 8 to 10 weeks. That's, man. I mean, that's a huge loss for them.
Yeah, that's a huge. Right. What were you gonna say?
I've been kind of like wondering, like, okay, is this the 12-9 against the better teams? They haven't beaten any of the better teams yet, and wondering really kind of what they are this year. And this is a huge hole. This is a huge, and you can't replace it. I mean, I love Hartenstein, but I think Hartenstein fits the second center position perfect. And it's just not. Jericho Sims is okay, but he's not Mitchell Robinson.
No.
Mitchell Robinson, who played the full year, would be in talks. I'm not saying he would win defensive player of the year, but based off of what he's done so far, he'd be in the talks for it. Steals, block shots. They're going to miss his rebounding a ton. This is a real blow for them. And unfortunately, last year's his only healthy year. This is
right,
man.
Now, but Brunson got hurt at the end of the blowout loss to the Celtics. Was that right?
Yeah.
And Thibodeau always seems to keep guys in when the game's out of hand. I'm like, dude, take him out of the fucking game, dude. Just keep him out. I don't get it, man. And I still think, Rob, they're missing pieces. I mean, I just.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe if they're out of it this year,
hard for style.
I think they're not going to be contending for the 3 if Mitchell Robinson's out. I can't see them playing as well. Maybe they just end up, at the trade deadline. Maybe they shake things up a little bit. I would doubt it, but who knows how the rest of the
What do you
season
think
goes.
about? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Siakam isn't a good fit for the Knicks? I don't know if he's a good fit.
No, he plays small forward. I mean, you're talking R.J. Barrett at that point.
Yeah, that's what, right.
Barrett would be a good two guard, I think. I mean, he can shoot outside well enough. He would have the size advantage over other two guards. I don't know if he really can play it, but if he can, he would create mismatches. But then, who are you trading to get Siakam? And Siakam's not number one, really. So what are you just bringing on another Randall-type guy who's not a number one, but is going to make you better? I mean, I think at this point you need a number one guy.
And I think they talked about him. They talked about Zach LaVine. I keep hearing about him all season, and I don't think he makes your team that much. I don't think he's. Yeah,
and
yeah. So I've been.
Another guy who they talked about, but I don't think any of them. I think people brought up Paul George again, because of how they were struggling with Harden. I think Paul George is a little too old.
Wait, who's too old?
Paul George.
Yeah, he's too old.
Yeah. So, if Kawhi were to become available and he's been healthy all year, that's someone I may take a chance on, depending who else is available. Because if he is healthy, there's no one who's who else in this league. Jokic is as good all around game. I mean, I'd say if he's fully healthy and fully engaged, is there anyone with as good as an all-around offensive and defensive game? I mean, this guy locked up LeBron in his prime. His Miami prime, he locked up LeBron. Offensively, he's got the mid-range game, could shoot outside, he's clutch. You saw against that Toronto thing. I mean, he went against, I know they were injured, Golden State, but he still carried that Toronto team.
So you want him?
I would. It's something I would, depending on what they're asking back. He's someone I would consider taking. I would consider it, because if he gets healthy for a year, and depending on what you give up.
How old is he now? How old is he now?
He's got to be in his early 30s now, right? I don't know his exact age. He's got to be in his early 30s now. He's been around for a while now.
But but it's the health thing that gets me nervous. I mean, when he's on, he's on.
That's the thing. But who? And I say this, and then someone else always becomes available. Who is going to be who? Who do you think becomes available? People argue about Karl Anthony Towns. He's not becoming available now with how good Minnesota's looked. They're not.
No, they're not going to get. They're not going to break that up.
The shelf anyway. So obviously Jokic is not. The guy Brown on Boston is not going to become available now. I mean. Anthony Davis is going to be
like the Knicks.
I think at some point, but I don't want Anthony Davis. I'd rather take a partially injured Kawhi than Anthony Davis. I think it's been clear Davis is not the guy. Giannis is not becoming available now. Obviously, Dame's not becoming available. I mean, how many Zion? After the reports I saw where they're asking him to stay healthy, I mean,
right.
He's not.
Right.
If you can't do it, a guy who's committed to winning does it no matter where he is. Because any NBA player can get. He doesn't have to add weight to get out. Any NBA player wants out of a city, he's out. So if you're going to tell me, I don't think he comes to New York and all of a sudden get the motivation to lose weight. I don't see it.
But so Kawhi or so you like Kawhi?
No, I don't want Paul George. I'm just name people throw around.
But you like, but Kawhi. Kawhi is a guy.
Would be available.
But Kawhi makes it look effortless.
Yeah, and he's good all around, man. He does it all.
He does. He always played great defense. Always played great defense.
Always played great defense. He's got a great mid-range game. Can shoot the outside. Can get to the hoop. He's selfless. He doesn't. He's not someone who's going to create problems with teammates. I think Brunson would be great with him.
Brunson. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like. I feel like you got a guy Brunson who's just elevated his game, and now we got to get guys around him that also have that mentality. I just don't know if Kawhi he just misses so many goddamn games. But he's been playing better. But yeah, I mean, and he's older. I mean, he's not. I don't think Kawhi is. Yeah, I don't.
Once again, depends what you're giving up. If you're telling me you're giving up Randall, let's say they want Randall, and I know the Knicks have 4 first-round picks. Randall, 2 or 3 first-round picks, and I don't know. I don't love giving up quickly. I don't know if I go that far.
Kawhi's 33 in June. I mean, that's not dude.
Oh, yeah, he's older than that. A little older than that.
Yeah.
Then that makes it more like, if you tell me Randall and like 2 or 3 first-round picks, do I take a chance the next 2 years he does it? If I'm the Knicks, maybe, because then it kind of gives you a reset off of Randall, because Randall's just never gonna be the guy to lead you anywhere. Never.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But then again, I mean, Randall's still going to give you another 2, 3, 4 years, so you can keep running it back with them and hope someone else comes free. I mean, that's really the only other choice, is you're hoping that either R.J. Barrett develops into that guy, or somebody else becomes free at some point. You keep running it back with the team you know is going to be anywhere between 3 and 6 in the conference.
Well, that's the thing. Michael said the same thing. He says that Robinson's on a team that's like the 6th to 8th best team in the league. He's not a guy who's like, I mean, he's a guy who does, yeah, I mean, so I hear what, it kind of sucks, kind of sucks in that way that I feel like the Knicks, I mean, is this as good as it's going to be this year? I mean, are they just going to kind of tease, or, yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, and the other thing with Kawhi is if you were to add Kawhi when Mitchell Robinson's healthy, which I know isn't all the time, when he's healthy, you would have a Mitchell Robinson in the center to be able to lock up the any centers that are, he had trouble with outside shooting guys, I'll say that. But then you have Kawhi who can handle any wings, and then you have Grimes and Quickly who can handle any guards. So you'd have defenders at all levels. And Hartenstein's a pretty decent defender too. We'd have 3 levels of defense that whatever the other team has as far as scores, you'd have defenders who can, lock them up as best as you can. Some guys, I mean, no one's yet locking up Giannis completely. No one is completely shutting down, Jason Tatum. But you got guys who can give him as much trouble as you're going to in this league with the type of league it is today, where it's, offensively focused.
That's what I want to. Do you think the Celtics are the team to beat this year?
They're pretty good, man. Them in Milwaukee clearly above everyone else. I know Giannis turns it up a level, and Dame is obviously a clutch. I I would go with the Bucks because I've seen it from the Bucks. I've seen the Bucks, win it all. And I've seen Giannis step up his game to do it. Obviously, Damian Lillard is clutch. I mean, the guy makes clutch shots. And Robin Lopez is really good. That someone never gets. I mean, he's obviously not the number one scorer, but the guy can shoot, the guy can defend, the guy does everything. He doesn't mind being the guy who just does all the dirty work. So, and they've won it before. So I give them, they're my favorite over anyone at this point in the East. But I mean, Denver's the team to me. But as far as the East, it's Milwaukee for me.
Okay, because a lot of guys were talking last night, and sometimes the guys will talk and whatever, and they just go on and on and on. Everybody's talking like the Niners are like they're winning it, and I'm like, guys, they're still. And I know they have a very easy schedule the rest of the way. I think they play the Rams. I mean, I saw their schedule. It's not anything to write home about. It's a pretty easy schedule. But I still think in the playoffs, Brock Purdy could. He's played well. He has one bad game. CMC they hold. Things aren't working on offense. They went on a 2-game losing streak. I still think it's kind of wide open. I still think it's not. That's what I think. I don't know what you think on that front.
I think if they're healthy, I think they're the favorites. They have good offensive line.
They do.
They're running behind him, and you can't stop him. He is dominant offensive line. And then beyond that, you have the coach.
Shanahan.
Shanahan, yeah, thank you. Shanahan, who grips plays really well. He sets up, he puts his players in the best position to perform.
I totally agree.
Who are you focusing on? Debo?
You see Jamal Adams last night? Did you see Jamal Adams? Yeah. He just blew by. I am so glad the Jets got rid of him. Good God, does he suck?
Yep.
Does he suck?
You have you have Kittle, you have CMC, and even when Mitchell, their backup running back is good. He's not great, but, when he comes in after you deal with McCaffrey the whole time. So I think if they're healthy, I think they're the favorite, and their defense is good.
Bumble says
you see it also versus you see how physical they are when teams look at the record of I forget the number now, but record of teams coming after playing them the last 2 years. Teams are horrible after playing them because they're physical.
Right.
That defense is physical. So I think they're also, especially against the Eagles, they have something to prove, and I think even in the playoffs they'll have that. Hey, last year our quarterback got hurt. It would have been different. I still think they have that chip on their shoulder. So I think they're the favorite, man. I think the Eagles' defense isn't quite as good as it was last year. They don't have the pass rush; it just isn't there. So I think the 49ers are the prohibitive favorite in the league.
I think in the league. My buddy says the Ravens, but nobody's picking. I'll tell you, Lamar Jackson. I thought when he had to make plays yesterday, he made the goddamn plays. OBJ faked out 2 defenders on one of the plays. I was like, God damn. OBJ's looking like he's playing well. They're 10-3. If the Dolphins win today, they'll both be up 2 full games with 4 left on everybody. That's a big gap. Michael doesn't like the GM. What's his name? Schneider, I think, is the GM of the Seahawks. And Geno Smith now, they're concerned about his elbow, that maybe they got to start to draft a quarterback for the future. So, there's a couple things happening.
Yeah.
And Drew Lock, they were talking yesterday on the chat. Drew Lock, I'm like, guys, it's one goddamn game. I need to see it.
You're right, and there's a perfect example. Drew Lock can look good in a game, and what is he now? Okay, wait a minute. He had a good first half.
Right.
Drew Lock has clearly turned the corner, JD. Someone's got to snap him up quick. He's clearly turned the corner. He's a pro quarterback now.
Right. One game. And he was
pretty good in that first half.
Not good second half, right? He didn't have a good.
And he had all the tools. Remember, he does have the tools.
The tools.
The guy can sling it.
His inner MJ. Remember, Rob, his inner MJ. It takes over.
Oh God.
Yeah, but there's a lot of crap. I agree with you. I'm not the parity when you have too many 7-6. There's a lot of 7-6 teams out there. I feel like the parity has gotten. I think Brady's right. I think there is a lot of crappy football. There's a lot of turnovers. There's a lot of crappy quarterback play. Yeah, and what do you? 100%. Are you what?
I just got let my cat out. He kept meowing.
That's so, dude, do what you have to do. But I'm kind of pissed too that both games are on at the same time tonight. I think.
Yeah, why couldn't you stagger one at the Giants could be 6:30. Each coast people are mostly pretty much at that point be home, and have that end, and the other game could start 9 o'clock back. You know,
back in the day, that's
9
what.
o'clock on Monday night, West Coast game. They could have a West Coast game on at 9 o'clock and do that one. And if the game's a blowout, you start on time.
Right,
If it's a blowout,
exactly.
If it's a close game, you could delay it a little bit. Do both at the same
Dude, they're pigs. They're pigs. They're pigs. They're like, we're gonna get the ratings regardless. Did you watch any of the Rangers, man? How about Jonathan Quick? First game against his former team, right? I think that was his first.
Yeah. He looked good. He looked really good.
He's a better save percentage. I don't think he's lost yet as a Ranger. 9 games, I don't think he's lost. I think I saw that.
8-0-1.
Yeah, 8-0-1. Is that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, boy, not a good thing to have 2 really good goalies. I know Sturkin hasn't been as good this year as he will. I think he'll,
Still
hard to happen.
Still early.
Still, I think it's a nice problem to have,
And did you see? So Browning was quarterbacking yesterday. Had some friends at the game, the Bengals game. So out of the goodness of his heart, Burrow gave a suite to the friends. So the friends, I was like,
that's
oh,
nice. Burrow
yeah.
looks like a good dude, man.
Burrow looks like a good dude to me. Yeah. Joe Willie says the goalie coach. So I told you the wedding I went to. The groom he does a fellowship next year. He's going to be a goddamn surgeon with the goddamn Jets next year. So my friend goes, he should be pretty busy next season.
Yeah, did he get paid per surgery, or is it just the salary? Because if he gets paid per surgery, the Jets or Giants are the team to go with, because with that stadium, it seems to be everyone gets hurt. So
everybody.
Either that, or either way, he's going to be busy. He'll be
It's gonna
busy.
be real.
Aaron Rodgers going on the knife the first week. Daniel Jones are going on the knife week 4. I mean, I know he does the Jets or the Giants, but maybe they'll have to call him in because the Giants guy will be pretty busy too. So may have to call him in because he'd be so busy. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers going to the knife, so
Oh, and I heard this too. Listen to this. So with Ohtani playing, this will be the first time they'll have a 1, 2, and 3 hitters who finished 1, 2, and 3 in MVP. Well, I mean, so Ohtani won, and then Betts and Freeman finished 2, 3. It's the first time ever the first 1, 2, 3 hitters are all going to be finished 1, 2, 3 in MVP voting, which I was like, God damn.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy. Yeah,
I
so
know that lineup.
Jason Starker heard that from. Yeah, and the most games that Ohtani's Angels ever won was 80. 80. They said the last time the Dodgers in 2000 have failed to win 80. Once. They went 71-91 in 2005, which is crazy.
Wow.
And also, okay, so listen to this. So Jason Stark put up with these crazy stats. Slugging percentage of Ohtani, slugging percentage, so he's .556 in slugging percentage. When he pitches, it's .332. In order for him for the pitcher to catch the batter for him, he'd have to give up a home run to 114 consecutive batters. I mean, something crazy. I was like, oh my God. And also, his pitching against his 200, he'd have to allow a hit to the next 180 batters he pitches to raise that average to what his batting average is as a hitter. I was like, good God. I mean, that's crazy. And we talk about parity. Josh Dubois always puts up crazy shit. 9 AFC teams are either 8-5 or 7-6, and then we have the NFC South. All 3 of the teams are 6-7, and only the Panthers and the Pats have been eliminated from the playoffs this year. That's it. Everybody else.
I wish the NFL did what the NBA does. They let you go
Yes.
in the cap to re-sign your own players. I think that.
Oh, the bird rule. The bird rule.
Yeah, I think that rewards teams who draft well, and I think that should be what you should be incentivizing. So I think you should, if you draft a guy, you can go over the cap, however many dollars, there's a certain percentage you're allowed to go over the. I think they should be able to do that.
But I think
It rewards you for doing your job well.
But I think, Rob, they should go to seeding. So I think that if it's 1 through 8, the NFC South team is 8. They're just 8 seed. That's it. That's what you do. Okay, you're like, guys.
You're in the playoff, you win the division, but you're 8 seed. The other thing I thought this is good against any sport, and the NFL doesn't really have to worry about this, although people are starting to talk about tanking. I think definitely basketball, you should do this. The team that misses the playoffs, that just misses, the next team that would have been in, should get the first pick in the draft.
Okay, say that again. Okay, what sport?
So let's say the Knicks and Nets are battling for the last playoff spot.
Okay.
And the Knicks miss out.
Right.
And they're the last. They would have been in if they won one more game. They're the next best team. They're the best team to not make the playoffs record-wise. They should get the first pick in the draft.
So
Here's why. One,
Okay.
you get the best player. You're now instantly, if the NBA, those guys coming out, now they got the best player. So within a year or two, they're obviously already a decent team. They should be elevated up to a much better in the conference, right?
Okay.
Also, it stops tanking because if you just get rid of all your good players and you finish last, you're not going to get the best. So it incentivizes you to try to get better. Now, people are going to say, oh, well, when you get near the end of the season, you may end up losing a game or two to miss the playoffs. Maybe that happens, but you're talking about a game or two versus trying to the whole season tank. So it incentivizes teams to try to at least be better than it is for them to go ahead and just completely tank and lose out an entire season. And think about if when LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade were all coming out that year, if the team that just missed the playoffs at him, how good are they next year? It also gets it makes teams not be dumpster fires or franchises. If you're a dumpster fire, you're never going to get out of it. You have to add players. You have to add decent talent. You can't just be bad every year.
You know what? I don't disagree on that front. I don't. You know what? I saw something about the team that I think that the two teams that make the finals of the in-season tournament should have a incentive that they're guaranteed a spot in the play-in tournament, like the top.
Yeah, I mean, most chances are the teams that make the play-in tournament, the mid-season tournament, are probably going to be good anyway, right? So,
but everybody's in the mid. But everybody's in the mid. Oh, you mean make the Final Four? Right. The teams make the Final Four. Yes, I agree with that.
No, the team that wins that in-season tournament, like the Lakers, are they going to miss the? I mean, but it would. For maybe a team isn't very good and they do win it. I mean, it could be an incentive, but I don't think it would rarely apply where that team that won that is going to miss the playoffs anyway. So, if you're the Denver Nuggets and you win that, I mean. Now
you don't really do you follow college football at all? So you saw.
Yeah, a little bit.
So you saw. Well, I thought Jaden Daniels was the best player in the league, so I was happy about that.
Yeah.
But you heard who's coming in to take over for Bo Nix at Oregon? Dylan Gabriel, who was phenomenal this year at Oklahoma. He's already thrown for 14,000 yards. Listen to this.
It's pretty much just like free agency.
But
right?
but listen to this. Dude, in 2019, he was playing at UCF when Bryce Young was still in high school. And he's going to play. Bryce Young is a rookie this year, and Dylan Gabriel's going to play another year at college next year. You're like, but listen, the money is there. Obviously, he's going to play another year. He's going to make a couple million playing at Oregon next year. Why not? Why not?
Look at Joe Burrow used to transfer portal, right? Went to Ohio State, and so against Daniels went from Arizona State, right? Is Arizona State? So it's given guys who may not, and who knows why. There's not only as your backup, but maybe you're across the country and you thought, hey, I get away from my family. That's what I need. You get there, and you're like, oh man, I don't like being so. There's all sorts of reasons you don't like it. There could be all sorts of reasons. Why are you going to punish a kid? He's a college kid, man. I mean, you talk about he's leaving home for the first time in his life. He's never been away from home. He's never been away from his parents. He makes a decision for his college, and then he goes somewhere else, and all of a sudden, like, man, this is not the choice I want. But now he's locked in there, and if he doesn't, he has to sit out for how long? I mean, come on. You're expecting college kids to make serious choices when if my kid chooses to go, to whatever school, let's say New Paltz, and then decides the next year they want to travel, they want to go out to across the country, they're not playing sports, they don't get punished for it. Why are you going to do that in sports? Why does a sports player have to get punished when any other college athlete student doesn't?
So Michael just wrote that he feels that the NFL needs to change how the quarterback position affects the cap, which he said it's out of control market, and then you basically have to have a guy on a rookie contract, get all your players, and then you're going to have to give him so much that you can't get guys around him eventually. When he starts playing well. I mean, he's got a point. I mean,
maybe the GM should just be smart and not just always sign. The thing is, there's always that one. Instead of them just saying, "Oh, well, we're just not going to give you so much." I mean,
right.
But they do, so it happens. And then you get guys like Brady who took less every time with the Patriots and allowed them to keep some of their players, and they win all the time. So,
I hear you.
Get into someone else's pocket, but you figure is Mahomes at some point going to say, I don't need to be the highest paid? Like, everyone knows he's the best quarterback in the league. Does he need to be the highest paid? And does he maybe take a little less to keep, maybe now he realizes, if I'd taken a little less and kept Tyreek Hill, I wanted to have.
Right, exactly.
The ball
Right, I'd have a guy to throw the ball to. That's another point. Yeah, well,
imagine if Tyreek Hill was still there. You know, this year, do you think they're where they are now? If Tyreek Hill is still there? I don't think so.
No, I think they'd be in a better position.
No.
I think they'd be in a better
So,
position.
no, if he takes $10 million less a year or $5 million less a year, and Tyreek Hill stays there.
Yeah.
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 If this year he goes ahead and takes less so that they can bring in good receivers, it doesn't even need to be Tyreek Hill level receivers. If they've got, imagine if Lockett was there.
Yes.
Yeah, Lockett. Imagine if he was there, had a reliable receiver like him, and then had another guy on the outside. Let's say, I don't know. Name Brandon Ayuk, who's not going to be he's not going to be a number one. Brandon Ayuk's really probably a number two. If they had like two guys like that on the team,
Right.
you know, two reliable guys catch the ball every time, and then Kelsey.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Listen, yeah, you know what? It comes back and bites you in the ass. Look at the Patriots. Belichick thought I could just next guy up, next man up. Well, eventually,
The quarterback, it didn't work.
yeah, it does. And the next man up, you don't draft the right guys, and the whole franchise goes to shit. So, dude, I hear you, dude. I hear you. I totally agree with you. And I think Mahomes is this offseason is gonna be like, you know what? We got to reevaluate the whole team. And I mean, they're gonna make the playoffs, and they could go and run to the playoffs. But I think you know what? You can get in his head a little bit too. He gets frustrated. The refs, not getting all the calls. He wants to get every time he gets touched, he thinks he gets a call. Every time he thinks the receiver's being held. He just always is bitching and moaning. And I'm like, dude, no one wants to. I don't want to hear you cry wolf all the time. I'm tired of it. So.
Yeah. Well, no one's talking about it, but Kelsey's getting older, man. Was he 34? How much longer do you think at tight end that guy's going to continue to be able to produce at the level he does? It's not long before Kelsey. He give him what, 3 more years the most. 37 years old, producing as a number one receiver in this league. That's probably not going to happen. So a year or two,
Aaron.
Kelsey's now too old.
Yeah.
So they've got to get some more talent in there, and that's drafting. And they have to get more offensive talent. Mahomes is not going to be able to win with the receivers that they continue to throw out there when Kelsey starts to get older. It's just not going to be able to happen.
It's not going to happen. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Yep.
Totally agree.
Yep.
Dude, I don't think we covered a lot today. Yeah, I don't think we covered a lot. Oh, so I just saw Trubisky starting next week. Pickett's still out. That was a bad loss.
Wait. So if Trubisky comes out and has a good first half, is he now NFL starting quarterback?
No. We all know that Trubisky is done. We all know.
You know what? So I'm single. I hope one day, I hope coming up soon, I find somebody who loves me the way Rex Ryan loves Zach Wilson. I hope I can find someone that.
Wait. Rex Ryan loves Zach Wilson now. Is that what they're saying?
Rex Ryan.
Oh no.
Every week on DPH or Rothberg, not just on that show, on Get Up and everything else, he comes in and talks about Zach Wilson like he is in, as Getema would say, full bloom love. Man, this guy. Every week, no matter what he does, it's never Zach Wilson's fault. He's got all the talent in the world. You see me in the chat how I joke about Tommy Cutlets like going on a run.
Right.
I'm joking, obviously. I know he's not, but it's like I'm being the Rex Ryan to Tommy Cutlets as he is to Zach Wilson. He came on this weekend. He came on the DNR because he does a Monday hit every weekend, every Monday on DPH or Rothberg. He came on, it's not Zach Wilson. You saw the talent, it's there. He thinks he's going to lead them to the playoffs this year. He still thinks they're going to go to the playoffs if Zach Wilson plays well and thinks he can. It's nuts. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Rex Ryan, to me, they should have won the Super Bowl, and I will blame Rex Ryan that he wasn't a good enough coach to get him there. I will say that to any Jet fan that Rex Ryan should have won a Super Bowl. He did not, and I blame Rex Ryan. That AFC Championship game against the Steelers, they played a terrible first half, and they should have won the second half. They didn't. And to me, Rex Ryan is an overrated head coach. Good defensive coordinator, not great. He thought he was great.
Again, another guy another coordinator who above his head and is not willing to take that step. I guess he was willing to with Denver, but like so many guys.
Hey, his dad was a great defensive coordinator, not a good head coach because he had talent.
Had such a good defense in Philadelphia.
But yeah,
could never win.
Never win. And
they didn't make the playoffs a ton either with that team. I don't think.
No, but he had
somewhat, but
dude, how do you not win a championship with Randall Cunningham? How does Randall Cunningham not win a championship?
And Reggie White and Reggie Brown. And
Jerome Brown.
Oh, sorry, Jerome Brown.
Yeah.
Jerome Brown and who receivers, there's one really good one. Tight end with Keith Byers is really good as a tight end.
Listen.
Good receivers.
I mean, Mark Sanchez to me is top 5 greatest quarterbacks in Jets franchise history. He's had one of the most playoff games of any Jets quarterback. Mark Sanchez.
This is a lot about the Jets, though.
No, I'm just trying to get Josh. I'm trying to get Josh riled up. Josh is bum Ches. No, yeah, listen.
So first you got Neil O'Donnell.
Right.
Oh wait, Zach Wilson number 1. Zach Wilson, number 1 quarterback in Jets history. He's got to be, right? I mean, he's got all the talent in the world.
Oh my God! And then
you got
Boomer. You had Boomer for a bit. You had There's a guy.
O'Donnell, Ken O'Brien,
Oh my God! You know
Michael
what?
Vick.
Someone Michigan's neighbors who live around here. They lived in Chicago. Oh, Long Island. Brian Nagel was a Jets quarterback out of Louisville. They drafted him. He was shit.
Him.
So he was their neighbor. The guy said to me that the husband said, a lot of girls came over his house. He had a lot of lady visitors. I was like, yeah, I think he was more interested in pussy than he was in playing football.
Harry Carson lived on the same block as my aunt and uncle in Ossining.
Really?
Pretty cool.
And
I've
nice.
never met him.
Nice.
Like, yeah, he's
I
a
met
good
him.
guy, man. He's a good guy.
We went.
Did you?
We met him. Michigan's old boss. We went to this fundraiser, and it was Jets and Giants. And Harry Carson was talking about how he had to leave his dog home. The quietest guys. He had his hands were like all, and he had his Super Bowl ring on. And
If I remember correctly, he raised his son. His son's mother left, and I think he raised his son
Really?
as a single father, which back then is like really, is not as much. But he raised his kid. I remember reading in the book that he raised his son as a single dad. And yeah, he lived in Ossining, and let me tell you, not a big house. Just
Right.
knowing the blocks, houses that are on my aunt's block, it's like it's middle
Right,
of Ossining,
right.
middle of Ossining.
Well, he didn't make the money.
Special, nothing.
But he made good money, but not.
Yeah, but I mean, for even still back then, but yeah, just lived in a regular place, and just a nice guy. If you like a quiet guy, and my aunt and uncle said, yeah, he's just a nice neighbor.
Very quiet guy. Yeah.
Good guy.
And we were leaving that night, and and Michigan went to Michigan, so she was like, "Oh, I really want to meet up. I missed Amani Toomer. Who comes out of the elevator? Amani Toomer." She's like, "Amani!" And they start talking about Michigan.
It's not a tumor.
It's not the Tuma. And they were talking and laughing.
I remember him for 2 catches. One, the catch against the undefeated Broncos when the Broncos were 13-0.
Yes.
At Giant Stadium.
Who was the quarterback? Who was the quarterback for the Giants? Who was the quarterback? Oh.
That was
Ooh.
90.
Oh.
That was.
I see his face. I see his face.
Was that still Ken Graham?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Good going.
And then of course the catch against the Cowboys at the end of the first half in the 2007 divisional playoff game. He caught a touchdown pass, late in the first half, and made a couple guys miss and took it to the house. And that was a huge play in the game. So it's of course. I mean, Monty Toomer was a really good receiver, but those are my 2 most memorable Monty Toomer plays. Love him, man.
Toomer was
really good Giant.
He was a really good player, dude.
Yeah. He came in and got humbled a little bit. He had to work hard to make. He had to prove himself. Still, it wasn't just because he was a higher draft pick. He wasn't. It wasn't like today where you're a higher draft pick. You're just getting on the field no matter what. He had to prove himself, and he struggled a little bit in the beginning.
Dude, he had 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
He was 98 to 2008. Wow, 96. 13 years. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, he would do that for a while. He did punt returns for a little bit early in his career. The year the Giants lost in the God, what a horrible playoff loss when Trey Junkin with the bad snap and the field goal.
Yeah, I don't know if
hugely. He had a good year that year with Kerry Collins. Monty Toomer had a good year that year. He was that
Josh was at the
Barber and Collins. They were good.
Josh was at the Broncos Giants game. Yeah, I think he met his wife. He met his wife there.
I called my dad. My dad had his own store. He owned his own store.
Okay.
A hobby store. And I called him and I said, Giants just beat the Broncos. He goes, get out of here. I was like, no, I'm serious. They just beat the Broncos. He's like, you're lying. I was like, no, I'm not joking. Yeah.
See, these are good memories. These are good memories, man. These are good memories.
I love that. Yeah, no, good memories. Giants 41-0 over Monty Toomer then too. 41-0 over the Vikings. I mean,
that 41-0 game, and then your quarterback took some. Kerry Collins took a little. They said he took money from the gamblers in that that Super Bowl loss to the Ravens. There were rumors about him taking money.
No, I don't think. No, that defense was just really
They said he was
unfortunately.
when I was in Carolina. There was a Gold Gym in Carolina, and this guy went out. He said Kerry Collins was dumb as nails, but he had a really good team around him. But they said it was football and I mean, he looked like a good. He did make a. I remember he was with the Saints. He made a. He used the N word or something with the players. He got in a lot of trouble, and then resurrected his career. I mean, he was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback.
Remember, he took the Panthers to the NFC Championship
Yeah,
game in the
second year. Yeah.
Yeah, them and the Jaguars both made I think they made the AFC Championship in their second year too, right?
Yes.
Natro Means.
Natro Means.
And,
Oh, I love Natro Means.
Those are
Oh,
fun. Both of those teams were upstarts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dom Capers
Yeah.
was the coach of the, I believe, the Carolina, right? Wasn't he?
Capers, right? Capers.
Yeah, Dom Capers. Yeah, he had the zone blitz, which was.
And Coughlin was the Coughlin was the coach of the Jags.
Jaguars. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Coughlin.
Josh is
He'll be in the Hall of Fame someday.
Yeah, Josh is getting a Zach Wilson tattoo, he told me, on his back. He's getting a full Zach Wilson tattoo on his back with his cougar girlfriend. I said, Josh, I don't think
Josh has got two daughters. He's renaming one of the daughters Wilson, is what he was telling me.
I heard the same thing. Josh is going to name his daughter Wilson.
If he's ever going to have a son, he's going to rename the son Zach.
No, I think he should name the kid Rex Ryan Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, dude.
Well, my son is named Tommy because I foresaw Tommy Cutlets coming. I foresaw it.
You saw it. You were like, I'm doing it. So, dude.
Yeah, my son loves it. My son's like, oh, his name's Tommy. He's playing for the Giants. He won. My son is so excited by the fact that he's got the same name. My son's 8. You know, he's so excited to get the same name.
I saw the picture you put up, dude. Dude, I saw the picture you put up. I liked it. You with the Familia.
Yeah, we have a great time. We play Christmas music and you know, like everyone else does, we do the tree and stuff. And my kid, my daughter, my son, they get along so great. They're such good kids. I'm so lucky, and they're so good with each other. It's such an age difference, but still, my daughter plays with my son all the time. There are plenty of teenage girls that would not want to play with their 8-year-old brother. You know, too young, but she is so good with them, and my son absolutely adores her. I'm really, my kids are great.
You do have great, dude. You're a great dad. So Josh is going to name his Zachariah, and Aaron's going to name he's going to send his kid to BYU just like Zachy. And I guess I can announce it now that I guess he has a kid out there we don't know about. So Aaron, congrats on adding to the family. It's nice to tell us all these years later, but congrats that you're adding to the family. I guess we'll tell, we should have a party for Aaron and, introduce the new, and he's going to go to BYU. I mean, he'll be a Mormon, but, he'll be the like Jim McMahon. He'll be the crazy Mormon.
And you got to do what you got to do to support your Jets, right? I mean,
exactly. Like you support your Giants. Got to do what you got to do, man. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I named my son. We call Eli Uncle Eli.
Which is of course, of course.
Walks on water. So.
All right. So I got trivia question. Last show, most doubles by a Yankee in a season. Who do you think?
Most doubles by a Yankee in a season?
Single season. All time. Da, da, da.
Oh God, that's not. I know I'm gonna get it wrong, so I'm gonna go Paul O'Neill.
No. I'll give you another guess. Oh, so Aaron said yes. I'm having a child. I'm very excited about it. I could have one. I love it. Listen. So I'm Jewish, and when a kid after 7 days they do a bris, I meet the rabbi. My parents are there. And the rabbi goes to me, "You have any kids?" And I go, "Not that I know of." My parents were so pissed at me, but I was like, "Come on, he left it out there." I gotta joke with the rabbi a little bit. I'm like, "Not that I know of."
Yeah, dude. All right. Another not.
Wanderers out there.
Yeah. Let's see. Most doubles by a Yankee.
Everybody's on fire. We're all on fire today.
I gotta think it's a guy who hit for a good average.
Yes, he did hit for good average. Come on, dude. Well, I think you're thinking too hard. See, I could give it away, but I mean.
Derek Jeter.
No. Donnie Baseball, 53 and 86.
Oh, Donnie Baseball. Okay, there you go.
Okay, today's trivia question.
But the thing is, with the Yankees and hitting, there's so many options.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
if you had said Bernie Williams wouldn't surprise me. Robinson Cano wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if you told me DJ LeMahieu a few years ago had done it. Or obviously Babe Ruth. I mean, Babe Ruth is more a power hitter, but Lou Gehrig or Mickey Mantle. I mean, this goes on. And then, how many Yankees are good but aren't up there with the all-time greats that are still good players that would be like an all-time Met player? Like.
Josh said Andujar. Andujar? So today's trivia question is who has scored the most points in a Knicks playoff game? Most points in a Knicks playoff game, and I gotta hold. I can't tell you the answer today unless you get it right. Then, yes, it was Mattingly, Josh. Yes, nice going. You were 50.
Mattingly scored the most points in the Knicks playoff game. Yes, Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly. Yes, Josh, you're correct. Don Mattingly, most points scored in the Knicks playoff game. And Aaron said most doubles by Yankee all time is Bernie Williams. I go, okay. I gotta look.
There you go. See, now if you told me that in the season, I don't think Carmelo with the Knicks in the playoffs. No, I'm gonna not him.
He's second. He's second. He's tied for second. No, not Carmelo. No, Aaron.
I'm drawing a blank. It's a player from the '80s. I'm drawing a blank.
Does anybody know? So far, no.
What?
10, 9, 8, 7.
Bernard King.
Yes. How many points?
That's the name I'm thinking of.
How many points do you think he scored? What do you think? What do you think he scored in a playoff game?
I
thought it was.
That's why I knew.
I thought he scored more. I thought he scored. That's what I looked it up, and I'm like, that can't be right. It's
52.
It said 46. I thought he scored 60 in that. Remember that series he played against the Pistons? I thought he scored.
Is that really it? Because for some reason I could have sworn
I know.
You would never have more than 46 in a playoff game?
Yeah. I think that's bullshit.
46?
That doesn't seem right. Knicks most points. Knicks. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Knicks playoff game. Yeah, I think it said 46, but I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's correct.
Knicks play. Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I gotta look that up. I've looked it up, but playoff game. Most points Knicks playoff game. All right, let's see. Come on, dude. Can you look that up? Most points Knicks. Yeah, it says Brunson 46 two times. Okay, wait, hold on. Stat News is usually on top. Yeah, it says Bernard King 46 twice. Yeah, and you know what? Same series. So that was 84 against the Pistons. So he had 46.
That's not surprising that no one had more than that.
Yeah, so it's King twice with 46, and then he had 40. Ewing had 45 and 90. Then he had 44, and then King again had 44. And King's all over this in the 40s. So
I remember Carmelo had a really good game against the Celtics. I think it's his first year. Like 35 and
41.
15 boards.
He's got 41. Anthony's up there too with 41. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that game against the Celtics, I don't know, but he played he did everything. I remember watching it, and I think it was his first year, and I was like, man, if this is what we're getting from Carmelo, all we gotta do is put someone around him if he's just good in the playoffs, and then,
Well, I don't know what Ernesto's talking about. Sharks garbage. I don't know who's he talking about. I don't know who he's talking about. Yeah, Ernesto, I don't know what you're talking about, Ernesto.
Sharks.
All right, well, I'm gonna go. But dude, and the company. Tell me the company again. The new name and everything.
The company is Chase.
Yeah. So events come. Do you have anything? What's the next thing coming up for you guys?
We're actually just talking about it with Josh and a few other guys today. We're hoping to do the Rangers Islanders Stadium game February 18th. We're hoping to do a small tailgate, nothing huge, but we're hoping to get some of us together, go to the game, do a little tailgate, and enjoy that. We'll usually do T-shirts for it, and we can't probably all sit together because it's last minute, but there's still a lot of tickets available.
No, we can. Well, we can beat some people up. Why can't we beat some people up and get seats together? I think we should do that. I think we should. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? It was yours and my idea, so we're the idea men. Josh, Aaron, they got to do the beating up. We're the idea, they're the enforcers.
Did you ever see Night Shift with Michael Keaton? If you've never seen it, because you just said the idea, man. So Michael Keaton's like a crazy, look, he's like he's on coke. He goes, idea man, feed the tuna fish the mayonnaise. Like he's always like carries up. You just sounded like him when you were like, idea man. We're the idea man. Idea man, right here.
Idea guys. So yeah, TCA is our little hashtag. TCA TCA, the company of Jace. And yeah, anyone who's watching, if you're into sports, you love chatting sports, you can ask JD. Our chat is just going all the time. And if you love get in touch with JD, or my thing, if you want to come aboard, jump aboard. We have a sports chat on Twitter.
It's phenomenal.
All the time.
Phenomenal.
Always. And everyone has a good time. We got some people who like to banter back and forth. Like me and a guy Colin go at each other and stuff. But it's just all in good fun. When we talk sports, we got Philadelphia Eagles fans, Giants fans, Jets fans, Niners fans. In baseball, we just love talking sports. We welcome everyone in. You can just talk to JD if you're on Twitter, or just even join Twitter for that. We have people do it, and you meet people. And we got people, in Florida. We got people, and stuff.
And I got to get Michael Hellman, because I want Michael, reach out to me, because I want you on a show. I think Michael's got good shit.
He's such an interesting dude. I love the dude. I love the guy on it. He's such a nice. He loves making fun of me. I don't know if you notice this. Not many people do, but I'm a little white. I know you may not notice it.
No.
But Helen likes me, and it's fun. And that's another thing. Like, Helen will make fun of me for being white in the chat, and I love it. It's just a lot of fun. And Hellman's a great dude. He's really interesting. Well, he's done so many different things, and he's an interesting dude. Yeah, he'd be great to have on, man.
All right, let's do it. And Ernesto, the Lakers suck. So that's what he's talking about, is Lakers.
Yeah, Ernesto's great, man. He's brought so many people bring so much to the chat. It's great, Really, it's a great group of people. So if you're interested, reach out to one of us. You're welcome to join us. It's a big open tent, man. We bring people in, and we have a great time.
All right, man.
So,
thanks for coming on today, dude. Rob, anytime.
I love it, man.
Love it. I love having you on, dude. The dude is invisible. He called you invisible. He said the dude is invisible.
Exactly, yeah. If I wasn't wearing a shirt, you wouldn't know I'm here right now.
All right, man. Hey, everybody, thanks for doing the show. Hey, from Florida. Peace out. All right? Thanks for doing the show today, man. Talk to you later. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye. All right.